Hello, my lovely subscribers, followers, no matter where you are. We're almost at the end of 2023 and we're entering the holidays, and I want to wish you all a peaceful, wonderful holidays. And Mercury is now retrograde, but today is my birthday, December the 14th. And so I'm celebrating me on this birthday, but I want to talk to you a little bit about where I'm at and the changes that have been happening. And it is astrologically based because I am experiencing my Uranus square. We have a Uranus square at age 42, at age 21, a Uranus opposition at age 42, and a second Uranus square at age 63. And then we will hopefully have a Uranus return at age 84. So, it's a big turning point in our lives. And it used to be a time where you really were aging out of life. Well, times are changed. But anyway, enough about the Uranus square. I just wanted to say that it's a major turning point. And not only that, the Uranus square for me happened with a Venus retrograde star point at 20 degrees Leo on August the 13th, 2023, exactly conjunct my Uranus. So I've had a lot going on, amongst other things. I do have a lot of energy going on. And the year has been very intense. My Uranus is in my 8th house, which is shared resources, most deeply bonded relationships. It's also kind of hidden things, secrets have emerged, things that I did not know before. So it's been a year for me of deep revelations. I had my ADD diagnosis. I know it's officially ADHD these days, but I prefer ADD because I'm not hyperactive. And I decided to take meds because I was having all these opportunities and offers coming my way. So at least in the short term, I'm going to take them. And I've also entered therapy and again to deal with some things that are coming up. And I've been taking a deep dive into some exploration around trauma, fight, flight, freeze responses, CPTSD. I'm not a therapist, but my own life has taken me into those realms. And I'm noticing that I'm not the only one, and that we are also really collectively in a time of CPTSD. So I'm wearing my Ukraine dress right now to remind you not to forget about Ukraine. And that brings me to what's coming. Okay. So I decided that I needed to reinvent my private membership community. It was fine. It was the Venus Enchantment community. I've got some beautiful members who are remaining part of the community, but it became apparent to me that my work is deeper than that name implies, and that I was not really conveying what I do. Because yes, I am an astrologer, but I'm also a trained shamanic practitioner. In my Venus classes, I do soul retrieval and transfiguration work and all kinds of shamanic practices. I also, I have the tarot. I also use numerology. I also have a very keen sense of intuition. And I seem to be very attuned to the cosmos, basically. And the cosmos speaks to me. This is what happens when I look at astrology charts. They kind of bounce off and speak to me. There's more to me than that even. I've done a lot of courses, classes, personal development work, all that kind of stuff. And I was not expressing that. But what this really feels like at its core, okay, is that it feels like a visceral volcano of feelings and experiences that I have never felt before in my life. And I'm not going to kid you, it does feel like a volcano coming right down from my roots. Some of it, traumatic memories, some of it amazing. So anyway, that's enough. But I just feel like a real shift in how I work, and the depth that I am going to bring to a community. So moving on to what the nest offers, because this is really a video about where I'm going with this community that I am now naming the nest. I am going to do 2 different calls a month at different days and different times to fit time zones. I will also do a pre-recorded Venus Gate presentation every month for members that they can watch at their own time. There's also going to be an awful lot of, shamanic journey work or meditation. I have some new ideas about how we can do the meditations. It's always based on the astrology. It still will answer your questions. It still will be about what's going on in the cosmos, and we'll talk about those energies and then answer questions about members' charts alone and all support each other. Also in the nest, so the 2 calls a month are going to be called nest huddles, because we're all going to huddle in the nest in this cozy, safe, warm, supported space that wraps around you like a blanket. I also run this space in my own membership site that's accessible through my website, louiseeddington.com, when you're logged in at the top right. There's also a community forum space that I have now renamed the Grace Gathering, where you can connect with other people, support each other. I will always be there as well, answering questions, but you can ask questions, post ahas, and I have consciously chosen to keep this all in one private space rather than a Facebook group, because I feel like we need this literal nest, okay, that draws in the energies of the cosmos and really draws them down into each of us. And then I also work with change makers. I'm quite a political person in a way. Not I'm political in that, I'm team human. I kind of support all kinds of causes, particularly women. And we know what's happening with women at the moment. And I feel like we really need to come together to really kind of support each other so that we can learn to treat ourselves with compassion and great self-care so that we can be more loving to others. All right. And then we can be the change we want to see in the world. So really, that's who I want to work with. I want to work with people who feel like they want to be a part of change in the world. I'm not going to get too specific about what, I'm not a big fan of this is how you must do the change in the world. I've seen enough of that. I think it's more about being team human and team love. Okay. So I really want to invite you to check out the nest. There will be a link below and consider joining. It's $35 a month or $3.85 for a year. The doors are only going to be open from now until the end of 2023. As Mercury stations direct on January the 1st, I will close access to it for a few months so that we have a community that can really get to know each other. All right, rather than people just coming and going. If that that doesn't always happen, but it could. So people that join will come in and they will kind of become this real flock of birds, owls in this nest, and really kind of communicate and support each other. And I am the facilitator, the guide, the hierophant, if you like, because I interpret what's the messages I get. I am not the expert on everything. We all bring something to it, but I do know quite a lot of stuff. All right. So anyway, I want to read to you what one client said about working with me. She said it opened a portal that allowed me to access the answers I have been seeking, as well as stepping into my passions more fully. I felt my intuitive hits, coincidences, and messages from spirits multiplied. Solutions to questions I was pondering magically appeared. Manifestations of things that were either stuck or not flowing came forward. I experienced healings from childhood I had not had in 20 years of doing healing work. Now, you know, I don't take credit. I didn't heal her. I think people heal themselves. You know, I think people really kind of access that spot themselves. And at its core, to my mind, is this connection with the cosmic mother and the cosmic mother within. And being in the community is designed to help you to access your own cosmic mother within. But sometimes to access that cosmic mother, we need that mothering space from others as well. So, you know, I don't want to go on forever, but I did want to tell you where I am. My work is deep, it's profound, it's sometimes beyond words. So I find it very difficult to sometimes explain what happens. It's tailored to each person. It's not a one size fits all, but it's best done in a supportive group, which is why my Venus retrograde class was so crazily successful this summer. And being a member of the nest, you not only get those calls, but you also get discounts off classes and readings and other benefits as well. At some point, I am actually going to add a nest star level that will only be available to a small amount of people, where they can get one-on-one sessions with me each month, and there will be a 3 months minimum to be a part of that. But I'm not ready to offer that yet because I have a book to write as well. So, and I have to put that down. But if you feel like you are ready for this kind of embodiment and really tuning in, and tuning into being okay with being human, and really tuning into unity consciousness, which we are all moving into. If you are ready to feel the connections of that mycelium that runs and connects everything, that is now proven by science, if you are ready to kind of feel how the cosmos moves within you and get to know it at a real kind of somatic level, rather than just kind of a heady Mercury means this level, then come on in and flock to the nest. And that's all I've got for you. I do want to actually just share really quickly and I'm going to be doing a whole presentation on the Capricorn Ingress when I get time, but it's my birthday, I'm taking that off. This is the Capricorn Ingress. This is where we are for the next few months, and it's almost all Earth. We've got the sun going into Capricorn, which it always does. We've got the moon right at 0 degree of Taurus Earth sign. So we have the moon, Jupiter, Uranus in Taurus. I'm going to speak to the main planets, okay? And we have the Sun, Mercury, and Pluto still in earth signs. We've also got a fair amount of water, with Venus in Scorpio and Neptune in Scorpio and Saturn still in Scorpio. And they are the main planets. I use these asteroids and things, and we've got plenty extra Earth in those as well. So this is a real time to dig deep and to go within. And just to go back to the Sagittarius new moon that we've just had, that I am really recording this on because it's pretty much my solar return chart. We've actually got the Star of David. So that's bringing us in to this nest as well. I did want to say one other thing before we go, as if the universe is to say, hey, yes, you're on the right track. We also had a solar flare today. Oh, just realized my hair's all over the place, but we had an X-class solar flare, as if to say, oh, okay, happy birthday, here we go, it's time. And I did talk about the Venus retrograde in Leo last summer as being the rise of the solar feminine for many reasons, and we can talk about that when you're in the nest. So anyway, I'm going to put this out there. Check the nest out, come join us. You know, you can join it monthly. You get a month free if you join for a year and stay in there for a whole year and really go deep. But also, what else was I going to say? There was something else and I cannot remember. But this is definitely for women who are change makers, who want to understand their own cosmic makeup at a very deep level and how it works within them, so that they are then able to take it out into the world. That doesn't necessarily mean becoming an astrologer, but you will be changed, as I am changed by doing this work. Much love to you. Slava Ukraini. My friend said it's terrible there in Kyiv at the moment. The bombing and things has been very intense because the situation in Gaza has distracted attention away from Ukraine. And so I'm bringing the attention back to it today. Much love to you all. Be the change and flock to the nest and into the arms of the Cosmic Mother. Much love.